Maxxine Dupri. Very, very divisive segment that happened on Raw.
I love her.
So, you watched the clip. It was from Raw this past Monday night. Wrestling was ensuing, and then a confrontation happened. Tell us what you saw and what you think about it.
Maxxine Dupri, she's in a tag match, I think, with... Who's she in there with?
It's Candice LaRae.
Candice LaRae. And who's the other girl?
Can't remember. I didn't write it down. The two players here are Maxxine and Candice. They're the important ones.
Anyway, they have an interview in the ring. And one little girl, I noticed that's Candice LaRae. She was much shorter than Maxxine Dupri.
She's like a mini.
Oh, yeah. And she looked down and said, hey, what she was really telling her, you hear the people booing you? You know why they're booing you? They don't like you either. You know something else? People that don't like you? The other girls in the dressing room, they don't like you either. You ought to be ashamed, maybe. And she said something about a dead brother. Right? And I'm glad your dead brother is not here, which I don't even know why they had to say that. But what it was, she upset Maxxine, and I think Maxxine... She ran out of the ring and they pinned her partner, or what did they do here? Or they pinned her?
No, they pinned her. I think she got pinned by a kick. They kicked her and then pinned her from a kick.
Well, it wasn't the smoothest, but I think of what they're going to do, and I think this, I'm going record, I think if they stay this route with Maxxine, yeah, she's not very, very that good, but she's not that bad either. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, but I think the people kind of like her. It's up to the fans to pick who they want. So, and they have already picked that Tiffany Stratton. They love her. And I think they'll pick Maxxine and they'll make her an underdog. And let's see where it leads. Because just because it was weird might have been the reason it kind of worked. Because now she is highlighted, and let's see what they do with her. And she's a tall girl, and I think now she first came out with Maximum Male Models. Remember that?
Oh God, yeah.
That's who she was with first, and didn't stand out. But I think now, since they put her in the ring with the other girls, and if she has a decent writer or a decent booker that can book to her strength, let's see where that takes her. But I don't think this was a bomb. I think it was odd to say, you hearing an interview inside a wrestling match that's already going on without mics. It's like they were having a private conversation. The camera was right there, and she was, and Maxxine had that look in her face like, I don't know what's going on. But I kind of liked it because it's different. And if it doesn't work, well, we'll try something else. So, but I'm not going to blast them on their effort to help this girl or help the girls advance.
I'm just looking. Maxxine Dupri's 5'9", so Candice LaRae must be
5'3". Yeah, she's like a midget.
But, yeah, it's Cowboy Lang in there in a wig.
Yeah, but they had a pretty good match though.
I saw the
crappy moves.
Caterpillar. That was actually really good. It's like it was a cartwheel into a reverse caterpillar. It was really good, and then Candice LaRae was stood there.
But see, since they did this, you don't really. It takes away from the loss. You don't even remember if you just remember the interview, the dead brother, which I think was unwarranted. I think, but it was trying to show the people how vindictive these girls are. They're like high school girls, you know, how they can really play dirty, say things they really don't mean, and hurt one of their friends' feelings on purpose. And I think that's what they're going to get out of this, because wrestling's no more than just real life in a ring. Sometimes you can relate that to really mean girls who say things, ugly things and mean things to each other. But I think it'll help her in the long run.
I'm going to give you the quote. So Candice LaRae says, "You know why everyone boos you? You don't belong here. You think the internet hates you? You should hear what the girls in the locker room say. It's a good thing your dead brother isn't here to see what an embarrassment you've become." So let me explain about the dead brother thing, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know the story. So this is a right from Essentially Sports. The WWE superstar Maxxine, excuse me, I really need to burp. Oh, God, that hurt my throat, that. I tried to internalise it. And her family lost her brother in 2017. Listen, it's pure professionalism here, Dutch. Let's, you know what I mean?
It is.
So, when her brother was barely 22 years old, he was called Wyatt, suffered from seizures and couldn't properly use the right side of his body because of a rare genetic condition called, and I'm not even going to touch that word, adrenoleukodystrophy, something like that. Anyway, on a night in late December 2017, his life came to a sudden end after his Lyft driver pulled onto a highway at a rural intersection straight into the path of a Toyota 4Runner. So, I mean, that's a terrible...
So an accident was what he died from.
Yes, yeah.
Not because of the disease he had, no, I see.
Well, indirectly, it was because of the disease he had, because he couldn't drive himself. He was physically hampered to a point. But now, we know the old Jerry Jarrett thing of, personal issues draw money, that kind of thing. But for me, I don't know if it's me. Apparently, and you said to you for a bit, that's bordering or like heading straight into tacky, because it's bringing up a really horrible situation that, for two reasons. That one, it's tacky because it's just not nice to bring it up, and she's turning into Christian Cage, this Candice LaRae. And the other thing is that none of the fans, or pretty much anyone watching at home, knew this story at all whatsoever. So you sort of had to do your own research.
Well, they do now, since they've listened to us.
Yeah.
But I think that's what, guess what? My old friend Google is here, and let's look it up. And I bet that's what they've done. Because and people are going to say, I didn't hear anything about that. I didn't hear it. So they've looked it up. But now that gives them, the announcer, something to allude that shouldn't have been said. And people love that. Shouldn't have been said. And we'll see. Wrestling's not known sometimes for following, norms. They're not noted for their following of the mannerism book. I mean, they break it all the time. So, and we'll see where it leads. I didn't much like it myself, because I thought the same thing you did. I didn't use the word tacky, but I was thinking that didn't need to be said. I mean, they could have really gotten the same amount out of it without saying that.
Yeah, just like everybody hates you, the internet.
But they didn't say.
Leave it that.
Well, I'm glad did you say dead brother?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a good thing your dead brother isn't here to see what an embarrassment you've become.
Well, let's see where it goes.
Hey, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. So, it's effective to a point already.
It affected me. I couldn't sleep. Really, I had